Thanks for joining Black Gay Table Talk.
I'm Dorian.
And I'm Kenan. Join us as we take you on a journey of discussion from two Black gay male perspectives. You'll join us on various life, social, and cultural discussions that are just as versatile as you'd like them to be. Get ready for authentic, heartfelt, raunchy, thought-provoking, and relatable shows that will make you happy to have us join you as a part of your podcast family. Again, thanks for joining Black Gay Table Talk.
Let's get to talking.
Hello again, and thank you for joining us at Black Gay Table Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Kenan.
I'm Dorian. Let's get to talking. And today's topic, Kenan, we're going to talk about being friends with your ex. Now, I think I have a little bit more experience than you. And if you are a regular follower of Black Gay Table Talk, you know I'm single and Kenan is married. You also know, you don't know that there's a substantial age difference between us as well. Me being on the older end and he being on the younger end. So let me just say, my ex bag is a lot heavier than his.
Okay. I like how you did that. I like how you did that.
Let me tell you that I can truly, honestly say that for the volume of exes that I have, I can truly say I'm friends with just about every single one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, none of my relationships have ended in that. Don't you ever call me again? Don't you ever? But I think that deals with that goes with the type of people that I choose to be with. I don't choose to be with, everyone's going to have different disagreements. And I can tell you, obviously there were some disagreements because we're not together. Mm-hmm. But I think we were able to end at a place where we were able to maintain some form of a friendship. Do I call and talk to all of my exes every morning and say good morning? And no, they'll send me a gradual Merry Christmas text. I might reply and say Merry Christmas. Typically most of them will always call and give me a birthday wish, greeting. So yes, I can say you can be friends with your ex. What about you? I know your baggage is a lot lighter than mine, but on the few exes that you have, are you still friends with them, Kenan?
I was such a good boy. Oh my gosh. But I was bad too, though. I will say, oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
It's a yes or no answer. I'm asking
it's
just
complicated though. I'll say, you know what? I do think that you can. To answer the question, yes, I think you can be friends with an ex.
Are you still friends with your ex?
There are two. Well, yes, I do have an ex. Or
that's
two.
Singular. That's one.
I have, you know what? I have two exes that I will say in my heart of hearts, I know that they are my friend. Or that if I ever needed them, I could call them, and they would be there. Even if it was just like, hey, should I make the right decision here? Like, yeah, because I think that you can be. Now, is it appropriate is a whole different question. Because that's what stumps me, right? Because immediately my mind is like, yes, you can be friends with your ex, but at the same time that is like, now, because should you be friends with your ex?
I believe, and once again, everyone may not necessarily agree with me. My past is my past.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm trying to build something with you, I want you to be secure enough to know that my ex is just that. Now, and I want you to be secure, so especially if I still speak to my
an ex-husband, right? I feel that, you know what? this is my ex-husband, right? So this was my family, or, you know, it's a different level to me. But at the same time, if I'm remarrying, my relationship with him would ultimately need to change. I can't change his relationship with my family because that's his family too. But if I'm remarrying, I'm not going to talk to him on the phone like that. I'm not going to, um, I'm not going to. It's almost like you acting. You can't act like you're still in that place that you're not in, because it can confuse somebody in the situation, in my opinion. Like every now and again, there will be a message or a conversation where they ask, how I'm doing. They'll ask how he's doing too. They know that he's there, obviously. Um, yeah. So to answer your question, yes, but is having that friendship appropriate, or it depends on how pronounced of a friendship it is. I do think that having somebody who has seen your ecstasy face. I mean, no, no, unless your ex is friends with your spouse. I mean,
So let me ask you this question then: who do you feel is more insecure, you or your husband? Because based on the way you just answered that, for me, it seems like you're the one that's insecure about having a relationship with your ex.
You know what? No, I was raised like that in a sense. Like when you move on from a relationship, you move on from that relationship and you give yourself to that person that you've moved on with. Now, I was also raised like, and I'm a believer too. When you're with someone, that person gains pieces of you, right? Pieces of you that in a lot of ways you don't get back because they will always and forever be associated with that person. Now, how can I, and this is me, how can I fully give you all of me and I still have this right here that's present in my life? That's just, I don't know, that's my thing. I know you're probably
And
shaking your
so,
head.
well, I guess I'm thinking if we're in a relationship, I would hope, and once again, this everyone relationship is different. I would like to think that the person I'm in relationship with, that I'm in love with, that they're my friend as well as my lover and my partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, for me, I can't have a relationship with someone that I'm not necessarily friends with.
True. But do you not feel that sometimes those friendships are to the extent of that intimate relationship that you have with them? Like,
Then that
meaning,
means they weren't true friendships then. For me, that's me.
got it. So let me ask you this then. Do you believe that seasons end those relationships? Like, you were meant to be in my life as my friend
for this
and my
season.
lover for this season. But now that I'm entering this new season, I can't pull you into this new season with me.
I agree that that has some merit to it, but I still hold on to my guns that I want a relationship with someone who I can call my friend. And when that relationship is over, after we've had our cuss out and whatever else we had to get out of our system, that we still can walk away with both of our heads held up high and being able to speak to each other. I was not placed on this earth to judge you and to prosecute you. If you know whatever reason our relationship ended, and if you were the cause of it or I was the cause of it, there's a higher power that will deal with that at a later time.
Oh, all right. I mean, what
And
can you say about that?
it takes too much energy to hold a grudge. And I learned that from my very first relationship because of the way it did end. And I will tell you, it took us years to be friends again. But I do consider him a good friend. And I do
Mm-hmm.
consider him someone that I can talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Now, see, I don't think there has to be a grudge that's held to, you know what I'm saying, associated with it, right? I think it's totally possible that you can end a relationship and the friendship that was within that relationship or that was associated with it, and there not be a grudge. It's like, okay, well, you know what? Love you. We tried. I hope you find what it is that will make you happy,
mm-hmm.
and you move on. No, no love lost, no nothing. I think that's definitely possible without there being a grudge. But I'll also say it's not even from a place of insecurity when it comes down to maintaining those relationships. I don't know. I just, a part of me, and like maybe this is the conservative me, I just feel like it's inappropriate um, to have someone, especially if it was serious. Yeah, a part of me feels like it's
Okay. So let me
inappropriate.
ask you this question. If you two have broke, you two are no longer together, you see your ex
Hmm.
and you guys bump into each other at the grocery store,
Yeah.
how would you feel if they just walked on past and didn't even acknowledge you? You're okay with that?
Um, I've actually had that happen. I've had an ex walk directly past me, like, and it was me and my husband, but he walked past us like I was not there. And I'm like, boy, you see me standing right here. Um, I've had that happen, and I've also had situations where the ex will come up, "Hey, Kenan, what's up?" and then pull me in and hug me, and then turn. Well, no, they'll shake my husband's hand first, and then which is weird now that I think about it, and then they'll hug me. You know, but it's immediately stepping back, like, "How y'all doing?" The conversation is y'all, not "How are you?" It's y'all.
I like that.
They're so I have exes that I'm friends with in a distant sense. And it's not all me. Let me just say that. It's not all me. It's partially them. Because, and I will say, some of them, they do want to have the relationship back. And they know that they have that want or that desire. So they keep the distance to not interfere or disrupt or be disrespectful to my relationship. And for that, I'm actually appreciative. And they know who they are.
But you can be friends with them,
I could
and you are
be,
friends with them,
to an extent, yes.
and there's nothing wrong with it. That goes to where I think I said it is okay to have a friendship with someone. I would.
But
So the
don't you
question
think they
I
have to
asked you,
change?
yeah,
So
things have changed.
let me ask you a question. So
Okay.
you're with your new man. Your ex is calling you. They're going through something in life. It's hard. And they're like, I need you here with me. Like, come spend the night with me. Like, whereas in the past, you probably
That's a
would
whole
have
different.
went.
I think you're veering totally away from the topic today.
No, no,
Can you
no.
be friends with someone? I think that level of friendship in that type of situation, they should. If my ex knows me well enough to know that if I'm in a healthy relationship now and you're breaking up or going through something, you should already know you don't have the right to ask me to come and spend the night with you.
Not in a sexual way. No, come be here, spend time with me. I need you because I know only you can be there for me in this way. I understand you got a relationship, and I've had this happen. So, this is where I'm going with it. And it's definitely on topic because there's a certain, it has to change. It has to change. You cannot give yourself to that person like you once would if you're in a new
Correct.
relationship.
So, with that being said, I would have to tell them, hey, let me ask my partner if we can meet somewhere and he be comfortable with it. I'm going to throw it back on my partner and his comfortable and where he
Yes.
feels with it.
Thank
If
you.
my
That's,
partner agrees that, hey, oh, go meet such and such out. Yeah, I can go. I'm cool.
yeah.
I don't have anything to worry about. I don't believe, you know, then
Yeah.
I'm okay with doing it. But if my partner's like, I'm not really comfortable on this one, then
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna probably have to tell you, hey, I can try to talk you through this over the phone, but physically being able to meet you somewhere
Mm-hmm.
is not something I feel comfortable. And then I also have to say, would I want to do it? We're still friends,
Mm-hmm.
but am
Go
I still
ahead.
comfortable enough to do it? Because
Right. Right.
where's
Because go
where's
ahead.
my where I might be weak at the knees and be like, oh, I feel so sad for this person, and then bust down doing something that I'm not supposed to. So
Well, and that's possible, you know what I'm saying? But just keeping it just clean though, and not putting any type of cheating in it or anything like that. Is there not would it not be disrespectful to your relationship if you just went and did it? Right? Like, oh, well, that's my friend. I'm going to be there for my friend. Can it be disrespectful to your current relationship?
if you decide to not disclose it, I'm big
Okay.
on communication,
Yeah.
and knowledge is power. The more that your partner knows, the more they should be able to deal with the circumstances.
Yeah.
And
And
stuff coming out after the fact is always worse than just being honest and upfront from the go.
not only is disclosure good and that communication, right, needed, there also has to be a change to that previous relationship. And I've seen people maintain relationships with exes, and I don't judge. I don't judge, right? I just know how I feel about it, and that's how I conduct myself. But I've seen people maintain relationships and be pushed to places where they do have to hide things from their current lover. Not even saying that there was cheating or anything involved, but it could be loaning them money when they bad with money. But you know what? I I shared that love and connection with this person. I know he on the outs. I, I gotta help him this time. I know my baby, my husband or whoever say I shouldn't, but I gotta do it because of who this person is to me. Um, there's a lot of things I've seen happen. Or when there's a death in the family, you call that ex because the ex had the relationship with you, and they're in a sense comforting you. Mind you, the heart and all that's still associating with that intimate relationship y'all had. So here now you have this person comforting you in a way that's supposed to be for your new person. You get what I'm saying? It
I
could be
get it.
I've seen it a lot of different ways,
And
and
you
yet
bring up a
again,
very good point. When one of my ex, a parent died, actually, I've had two ex that after we had broken up, a parent has died.
mm-hmm,
And one of them, I was there front and center, even though they were in another relationship, just due to the respect for the family, me have being with him for the number of years that I had been with him,
mm-hmm,
me knowing the family,
mm-hmm,
you know, I, I just felt that was the thing that was needed for me to go.
mm-hmm,
Uh, and anybody that knows me well enough know I do not like funerals.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
If I could figure out a way not to have my own funeral to be there,
mm-hmm.
I would do it. But
Yeah,
I just don't like them. But I went on and went
yeah,
to the funeral. Now, the only saving grace for my other ex is that it was out of town. So
mm-hmm,
I kind of had a scapegoat on not having to attend that. But I think they know that I sent my presence wasn't there, but they know I was thinking about them and concerned about them during
mm-hmm.
that time of
And
grieving thing.
that's respectful. That's showing respect. But um, again, levels, right? Because if he was with someone else and that person is by his side, and yet here you come, you know, showing up, calling constantly all of a sudden, or um, you know, being under him and him really relying on you to get the emotions out that he was experiencing, that in some sense can be a disruption to his partner helping him with that grief. You know what I'm saying? And knowing how to help him and show up. So I don't know, it's levels to it.
So I think we are safe to agree that I definitely agree that I can be friends with my ex.
Yeah, I agree
And
too.
your stance?
To an extent. To an extent.
This one always has to put something on it.
I mean, hey, go. Well,
I am glad that my ex are my ex. I mean, good and bad, they have all brought something to my life that I have taken away in a positive way. You know, they have all shown me the good side and the bad side of being in a healthy gay relationship. I can truly say one has taught me how to just laugh and just be totally serious. I mean, silly, not serious. Just be totally silly, and to learn how to let my guards down. I have had one that has, you know, pushed me to become the better person that I perceive myself to be currently. I've had one to, you know, teach me how to do things that I didn't want to do, you know, to survive. So I can tell you, I am very blessed for the people that were in my life.
Baby, I have not broke down.
I want to say I have taken something away. Instead of looking at the negative that I probably could find in them, I have made it my mission to walk away with that relationship, thinking about the good and what I learned through that relationship, as opposed to what they did to me or what I did to them that ultimately ended the relationship.
I've never broke it down like that before. I will say, in general, I know. You know what? I will say this. They are not at all bad people, right? They've made some not so good choices in the relationship.
But let me stop. May I interject something real quick? When you say they, do you think that you had anything to do with it? Because it seems like you're putting it that you had nothing to do with it. And it takes two to tango. It takes two to make a relationship. So
true.
Part of growing is owning up to your contribution to that relationship and what you could have done better.
I will own it. I will own it. And we can have every last one of them on the show and they will tell you. I did nothing to end our relationship. I did nothing to disrespect our relationship. I purposely, I don't know. It's hard to say, because if you cheat, you know, or whatever, then obviously that's going to hurt me, and you're consciously making the decision to cheat. So that, yes. But I'm very forgiving. But in me forgiving, I move on. So I'll say I do still have a love for them, for making me stronger and for helping me to know what I did not want out of my husband. For that, I'm grateful for. But what can I say? I was the good boy. When I tell you I was the good boy, like, and when I say good boy, I wasn't the type all like out. I knew what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted that that picket fence and the dogs in the yard and the kids and, you know, what have you. But one person, there was cheating. There was friends who had ulterior motives that aided in helping the ex to make bad choices when it came to me, or stepping out on me, or just really ending the relationship. I've had someone break up with me because of things that their friend was saying to them. Now, mind you, come on now. You have to be pretty immature, just saying, to allow something that a friend of yours says to get into your mind as far as how you're going to deal with your lover, especially when that friend has a liking for me anyway. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, there have, yeah, there have been some things, and there was one situation where it became too physical for me in the wrong way. Now, him, I say everything that life gives you, you work to receive it back. So I think that karma has kind of hit him because all of them had their different things that they did to me, but the reality is they each see that they had the opportunity to have a spot. And I know this sounds kind of fucked up, and I'm not being conceited. This is just truth, right? They all still want what they had still today, and they say this, but they were the ones that made the mistakes. So I feel like in part it's karma that has come back around because in essence, you don't have that you feel like you wanted or needed or could have had with me.
Okay.
Is that how does that? I know that makes me sound horrible, but I'm not. I promise. I'm so humble.
All righty.
Ooh, okay, I'm back.
Okay. Would you have a? And this is more of a joke question, and I think I know the answer because I know you well enough. Would you have a reunion party with them?
That's hilarious. So I will say I wouldn't be afraid to. I wouldn't be afraid to. And the funny thing is, my husband, he could literally probably recall each one of them and what happened. And not only that, he would be able to talk. So my husband, he's not the type like, oh, don't talk to him or, oh, he's very much so, what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say conceal. He's a Bahamian man, okay? So there's a certain, I'm gonna call it what it is, arrogance, right? That some can tend to have in knowing, well, Mitch can play all he want to, but this is home. I'm good. I know he come out, you know. So I wouldn't be afraid to, and I don't think that he would be against it either, actually, because I've maintained that open communication with him, so he's aware. What about you? Could you have them all in the same room for a soiree?
For a reunion, I don't know that all would participate just due to the nature of some of their jobs, privacy. If we were to do a Watch What Happened Live or, a reunion of the Exes. But I can do some sound clips and, hide the identity of such and such. And it's not that they're on the down low or anything. It's like I say, some of the sensitivity to their job, they probably just don't want the world to know.
Now,
I think I could.
You could?
Yeah, I could.
I was going to throw some salt on it, but nope, I'll accept. You said you could. Okay.
Yeah, I could.
Now, let me ask you something. Now, you're dating someone, and I wanted to ask this a while ago. You're dating someone. They're spending a lot of time with their ex, right? They're inseparable. They're best friends. They go here together. They may have sleepovers together. They go out of town together. They do all these things together, and you're dating him, right? At what point would it become too much for you?
It becomes too much when you're spending all of this time with them and you're on the phone with them, because if we're getting to know each other and we're dating, that action is not giving me confidence by any means. If you're hanging out with your ex and going places with them and spending large quantity times on the phone, I do believe you can be friends with ex, because I just said that, yes, you can be friends with ex. But I think if you're also in the honeymoon stage of building a relationship with someone else, you have to spend a little bit more time. You have to spend more time on the building your foundation of your current relationship versus trying to keep that foundation of a past relationship up, because that relationship is up. So if it does crumble to the ground, it shouldn't be a loss to you. But if you're building a foundation with somebody new, you want that foundation to be strong. So you definitely need to spend a little bit more time and effort, because you can go out here and build a weak foundation, but just trust and know it's going to crumble sooner than it's going to stand up. It's going to come to crashing down quicker than it's going to stay standing up.
Got it. So, okay. This is going to be a kick-ass question, okay? You are with someone, your best friend, or you're friends with your ex, right? You're friends with your ex. The person that you're with, they know that you're friends with your ex. And they've always had their suspicions, even though y'all kept it clean. Y'all were good. Y'all did not disrespect your current relationship at all. But you fuck up, and you fuck your ex. Now, mind you, your current, right? Your partner is like already thinking that you've done something or that you're doing something. Do you tell your partner that you fucked up and actually did it after saying no, you have not for so long?
Well, that's a very good question. That's one of them questions, and here's how I'm going to answer that question. It goes to a statement: treat people the way you want to be treated.
Okay.
And you know, I use that reference a lot. Treat people the way you want to be treated. So to answer that question, I would eventually, first of all, keeping a lie is hard as hell.
True, but your ass wouldn't say nothing. I don't think you would. Would you really?
I would, because here's the thing. Finding out through a third or fourth party, to me, is more hurtful than coming straight from you.
Amen to that. Now, bitch, I almost I almost slid up and ran around this room. I wish that everybody had that same sense of compassion. Like, hear me. It is better to get the information from you than a third party. Oh,
because
that's the worst slap in the face to have.
Right. Can nobody give my narrative better than me?
True. But you having that accountability and saying something that's what does it. You know what I'm saying? For me, though, I don't think that I would be able to say, hey, I know you thought, something was going on, and it wasn't, but it actually did happen just here now. Like, I don't think I could. I don't know what that would look like. I'll say I wouldn't be able to hold the secret, but I don't know that I could have those words roll off my lip.
I think I have a better chance on keeping my partner by me telling the truth. So if the table was on the other foot and my partner came out and said, hey, baby, I slipped up. This is what happened. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I think him telling me and reassuring me that it was just a slip up, it won't happen again, I'm more willing to forgive him. But if his ex or a friend of his ex comes and meet me at the store, oh, you didn't know that Bobby and Eric slept together, did you? And then I go home and confront you, and then you tell me, yeah, baby, it is the truth.
Yeah.
I know myself well enough to know then I can't trust you. So whatever form of communication that I thought we had, we obviously don't. And I can't be in a relationship if there's no communication.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to build a fortress around one part of something, I can't. We talked about it in a previous episode, how much is too much to disclose. But something like that, I have the right to know.
All right. Now, I'm the king of I gotta go.
But yes, you are.
I have been in those situations. I gotta go. I'm more than likely not gonna put myself in a situation to have a slip up, because
that is correct.
I'm flaky. Like, I talk shit all day long on the phone if I have to. But when it come down to time to shake
Which
that
I'm
feather,
perfectly
baby,
fine with.
you'll be like, "Where is Kenan? I thought he was coming." Nope. Mm-mm. I gotta go. I gotta go.
No, I
And I've
mean,
been in the now. Have I 100% transparent moment? So I've never cheated on my husband. Never cheated on him. But and he knows this. There's been a time where it could have happened, and I. What can I say? Like the person was there, and one thing led to another, and like he was in my personal space, and all on that neck area, and I was like, oh wait, stop, I gotta go. I gotta go. But I felt so bad. I went home, immediately home, and I was like, oh my gosh, baby, so I was there and I did this and I did that, and I'm sorry, and blah blah blah. I feel like I cheated, and like I had this whole meltdown, and he kind of laughed. He laughed. Well, not laughed in my face, but I think he chuckled at the fact that I was so emotional by it. But I couldn't hold that. I told him like
but
I
that
shouldn't have
goes
had my ass
to
there.
you gave him the option to react in his own way because it came from you.
Yeah.
I think if you had allowed your ex or any third party person come to him with that same information, it would have been perceived totally different.
Right. Never. Yeah.
But
I
you
could never do
controlled your
that.
narrative. You were able to get in front of it,
Yeah.
Therefore, you saved a lot of heartache.
Yeah. And that
And
did
that's
come from
all
my
I
parents.
say. Control your own narrative. Don't let
Yeah.
nobody share your story. Coming out trying to expose people of different things. Let me once again. I'd rather be the open book and everybody know what's going on
Mm-hmm. Than to
versus
have other people telling your story.
right.
I understand. Yeah. It has made me think about some things. And honestly, I think I'm going to challenge myself to sit and really process even more the experiences that I've had and how they've really shaped who I am now, because I'm sure that they've sown into me some form of something.
All of your exes have shaped you in some form or way, whether you can physically see it or
Yeah.
mentally know it. You walked away with something from that relationship that you have brought to your current relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that. Thank you for joining us for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed. Again, if you'd like to subscribe, donate, and of course, any ratings we definitely appreciate. Again, thanks for listening to Black Gay Table Talk.